Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services, a leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online DonahueAccountingService.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999 under the Hall of Fame coach, Bob Huggins.
And I'm Neil Meyer with the Front Office News.
And I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the Front Office News.
Fellas, we are back for another episode. And before we jump into it, Neil Meyer is on location. Neil, tell everyone where you are.
I'm down in Orlando and we'll be live at Addition Financial Arena tomorrow night to cover the Bearcats.
All right, tell us about the weather down there.
Nice and 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Did you go out to the pool today?
I did go out to the pool.
You did go out to the pool. Okay. Was there a lot of people out there?
No, actually, I was the only one down there the whole time I was down there.
Wow. Okay. Well, we were 60. Did we reach 60 today, JT?
They was low. They was like low 40s, I thought.
There was like
yesterday was the 60 day.
Yeah, yesterday was 60, but there was a point today where it got to.
For real?
It was like there was like a point where it was a little warmer, but it was some cold spots today. But
yeah,
maybe I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Man, I don't know. I missed that one.
I tell you who is tripping. The Bearcats are currently 12-9 after losing to West Virginia 50-63.
That's a hell of a segue.
And I did not even mean to do that. Yes. It just happened. Wop, 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 wop.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good segue right there.
A good start. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. JT, thoughts on the Bearcats' performance? Take a deep breath first and then go ahead and go into it.
All right. So I'm not drinking, guys. Water today.
Okay.
But the way the Bearcats been playing,
you need to drink.
I should be drinking, but I'm not. I'm keeping it clean. I don't know. This God is helping me, get through this. But bro, man, y'all saw it. Y'all saw it.
He said, I don't need to. You also.
I don't even know. I mean, at this point, man. Hey, man, I'm just gonna crack jokes, keep from crying, man. That's where I'm at with it. Shit,
you gotta laugh from keeping.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh just to keep from crying, man. Because, dog, it was like, all right. So Jew went to the game Saturday. I mean, it was Sunday. So he's like texting me. It's like the middle of the first half. He's like, man, this looked like a loss. The game wasn't even out of hand yet.
Who did?
Juju.
Oh, your son.
Yeah. So he's like, man, like a loss. And I'm like, damn, I'm trying to be positive JT. But yeah, man, won the rebounding battle. Had some careless turnovers. Energy wasn't looking like a team that's backed against the wall. Man, so I mean, 2-8, man. If you'd have told me this team was gonna be 2-8, their first 10 games, man, I would have told you were on some high quality drugs, messing with the fent. But we here, man. We here with no gloves on, man. We out here. Remember, matter of fact, let's do this. The body, the hygiene, man. We living real homeless right now. We real homeless.
Officially homeless.
We are officially homeless. Like we don't even have shelter. Like we don't have shelter. We can't even get under like the bridges right now. You know what I mean? Like, how you go under the highway overpass? We don't have that right now. We barely got a sign. The sign we got is not grammatically correct. You know what I mean? Like we don't got no shift change, nothing. We outside all day. We outside, man. F water. You know what I mean? I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? We real raw. We very raw right now. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully our hygiene will improve, but we in a bad state.
Very, very bad state. And I've got something for you, JT. I want to show you in a second. I actually forgot to get it. I'm going to get it while I pass it to Neil. Neil, give me your thoughts on the game, and I'll be right back. After these messages.
And Meach has disappeared. But nah, on top of it, Cincinnati, it just looked like they were, I don't know if hopeless is the right word, but it was lackadaisical, hopeless. Like they did not want to be there, it seemed like. With the team 2-9 heading into Sunday, it just seemed like they did not know that their backs were already up against the wall and there was no fight. Outside of Rayvon Griffith and Dylan Mitchell, I thought there was no fight from anybody on that team. Rayvon was a huge bright spot in this game. I know JT and I talked about it during the game, but when Rayvon came in, that was when the energy shifted for Cincinnati. And that was in the midst of that 20-5 run in the first half. But Ray played well. I mean, he came in, I think the first 2 possessions, he gets a defensive rebound. Then on the opposite end, he gets an offensive rebound, puts the ball on the floor, and gets a layup. That was something Cincinnati needed. They needed someone to find with energy. And Ray brought the energy. And a career-high 12 minutes and 7 points. It's going to be interesting because right now where the season's at, would not be surprised to see a shakeup for Cincinnati and Rayvon being a guy who could come in and get those minutes because he completely proved it on Sunday that he deserves to be out there playing. So overall, I think that's a bright spot. I would like to see more playing time for Ray. I think everybody kind of could agree on that aspect. But overall, Cincinnati's got to find something. You win the rebounding glass, which was a positive because if you would have asked any of us three sitting there on Thursday night when we filmed that last podcast heading into West Virginia, if we would have said, oh, Cincinnati wins the rebounding margin, they win this game. But that was not the case on Sunday. It was lackadaisical. And even Wes Miller said it in the post-game press conference that in his 14 years of being a head coach, he has not had a team to where at this point in the season, he has felt like they are lackadaisical to the point that Cincinnati is at right now. And Simas Lukosius even followed suit with it and doubled down and was basically saying it's a lack of concentration. They know what they're supposed to be doing. It's just a lack of concentration. Overall, when you know that and you see that coming from a guy like Simas, it's not looking good, especially heading into a UCF team who is capable of putting up 90 to 100 points a game like we have seen time after time again this season.
This is the Bearcat Game Recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. So for those that listen to the podcast, loyal listeners, we know JT, not all the time, sometimes, has a cup or glass with him. And in that cup or glass might be some, Crown,
Makers, Woodford, just depends, man. Bullet.
Yep. Well, I've got something for you, JT. However, I cannot.
What is this? However, not be no E&J, man.
It is not. It is not. So I'm going to tell the story here in a second, but this is going to be funny. So I was given this Friday by our Bearcat legend, Corey Blunt Wine.
Oh, that's real tight.
Yep.
Nice. He got his own wine?
He's got his own wine.
We got to hit Corey up and get one of them.
Yeah. So I can't give this one to you. He gave this to me personally. I'm not gonna. I don't drink anyway, but yeah. I'm gonna put this up in the, like souvenir. This is a special thing for my guy, my Corey.
Hey.
I thought about you, JT, when he gave it to me because I'm like, JT gonna be on the podcast. Like,
hey, plug it out, Meach. What kind of wine is it? Did he say?
Yeah. What you mean as far as like what?
Like what the flavor? Like what kind of wine is it? Like is it a red wine? Is it a white wine?
Strawberry, Marlot, cannabis infused wine. 460 mg THC.
Oh, so it's a cat. Oh, shoot! I have
this will get the party started, I guess.
Yeah.
So This segment is sponsored by Corey Blunt Wine. Shout out to Hall of Famer.
Shout out to the legend. That's dope.
Legend. Yeah, I thought about you, JC, because we got to give a shout to Corey Blunt. He is a loyal listener of the podcast. I text you guys. He listens to the podcast all the time. So, and that's actually a great segue that Corey Blunt, Terry Nelson, and myself went to practice on Friday to watch practice. And listen, I'm not even going to recap the game, West Virginia. You guys said all you needed to say. I just want to talk about us going to practice. So at practice, I saw Wes Miller and his staff. They were trying so hard to motivate these kids. And I know Wes is getting a lot of criticism, and there's some things that, from a fan standpoint, I totally understand. I get it. But Wes he really is working hard. Even Terry Nelson was like, man, he's saying all the right stuff. He's getting after him. He's getting Jizzle. He's getting it Dan.
Yeah.
He's doing everything. The staff is doing everything. And one thing I want to say about what I loved about the end of practice was when Bearcat practice ends, all the players get in a circle, okay? And everyone kind of does this little circle line thing where everybody high fives each other. Yeah. And if a former player is there, the former player is in that circle because we're family, arms around, blah, blah, blah. So we do that whole thing. And Wes said a couple things I really liked. One thing stuck out. Wes said, and this was on Friday, Wes said, who do we play Sunday? He said, who's our opponent on Sunday? And guys kind of were like, West Virginia. They knew, but they were like, yeah, why is he asking us? We've been talking about West Virginia. And he's like, ourselves. That's our opponent right now. We are battling ourselves. And gosh, if he's not so right, this team, JT, is battling themselves.
Yep.
I don't care who you put on that court right now. You could put Alabama State on that court right now. You see the struggle. Am I right or wrong, JT?
No, 100%. 100%. It will struggle. It'll be a close game, go down to the last couple minutes for sure. It's just like you said, they are battling themselves. So that is 100% true, man.
Yep. And so after practice, what I loved, Terry and Corey were individually going up and talking to different players and having conversations with them. And of course, those two guys are dropping great, hand-me-down knowledge tips to those guys, man. Just really good stuff. I know Corey was talking to Dan Skillings at one point. You could see Dan just really completely locked into what the legend Corey's saying. So, and I'm going to say this. I think Wes and the staff are really trying. And I think these players, man, they're just in a bad space, man. They're in a funk. And it's not like, and we've talked about this, JT Neal, off the podcast. These are not bad kids.
No, not at all.
And it's not like last year, there were a couple bad eggs in the group that ruffled some things up. You don't have that this year. It's just you got some players struggling, man, mentally.
Yeah.
More than what they're doing on the court.
Yeah, it's all mental, man. It's just like you're in a slump, and it's like you make one mistake, it's besides just letting it flow, it's like you're thinking about it. Besides, Jizzle had a point blank layup, missed the layup. You know what I mean? Point blank, he made a hesitation dribble, got everybody to go he was about to pass, missed the layup. Then I feel like it was they kind of did a weave action. Dan comes across, everybody spread out, and he doesn't attack. He just passes out. And it was just all I had to do was just put his head down. Nobody was there. The help was too far away for somebody like him. Just little stuff you notice, you know what I mean? Maybe I think CMOS had a drive in the first half where I think he wanted to pass. So he kind of dribbled one more time besides just giving him the shoulder and going. You know what I mean? It ended up being like something that got knocked out of bounds or something like that. But it was just like it's little stuff that they're just like I think they're trying so hard that they're just not making
you can't forget the over the shoulder pass there too in the opening minutes too.
That one was just that I can't. That was just I won't. Yeah, that was wild. I'll say that was just wild.
And fellas, there's another thing I think that's happening as well. At one point during the game, the fans are booing. You guys heard it.
Oh, for sure.
Fans aren't happy. And Dylan Mitchell caught the ball on the right wing, had an isolation. He kind of looked at the basket, and he passed the ball off.
Yeah.
And the person that was with me, I told them, like, the booing is getting to their heads because I felt, and I could be wrong, but I felt Dylan was like, you know what? I've got an ISO here. I'm not about to take this guy to the basket, miss the shot, miss the layup, and then the fans start booing me. Because why would you not attack?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there was an ISO. Like you're a 5-star.
Yep.
Getting $850K to play basketball or whatever it is. Right?
100%. Man.
ISO'd on the right. I mean, no help side.
Yeah. Yep.
Zero. Zip. I mean, so.
Yeah, and one of the best athletes on the court, maybe the best, so it's.
Yep.
I think it's all mental, man. I think a lot of it is mental because this team, no matter where they finish at the end of the year, this team is too good to wherever their final record's going to be.
Yep.
Like pound for pound. You know what I mean? No matter what. Even if they miraculously win 8 of the next 2, 8 or next 10. I just think this team, people had high hopes, rightfully so. And it's just, man, I think it's really got mental, man. Because at first, I think I said this on Twitter, aka X. After that Kansas game, I'm telling you, like, I feel like after AP got hung on the dunk, after that, I just felt like it just like something happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even trying to be funny, like something happened since then. They won a couple games, but the same intensity. You hold a team like Kansas to under 55, man. That is playing some damn defense. I don't care. That's effort. That's fight. That's everything you want on the court. I don't care what nobody say. You can say I'm a homer, whatever. But watching basketball, you hold a team like that under that team shows you they got the fight, the grit, the heart to play with anybody. And I just think like ever since it was that play, I just can look back at that play. That's what I see, and I just feel like since then it's kind of been a spiral. You know what I mean? But the talent's there, man. It's just I don't know, man. I think it's just mental, a lot of mental stuff for sure, and it keeps piling up because they haven't had the success to ease the pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of me thinks too. Do you guys think that mental lapse aspect of things could be due to the fact not only the booing, but knowing that they are playing 20 conference games in 3 months and there's no bye week? Do you think that could maybe play a factor into it since this is a one-time thing kind of ordeal?
I don't know if they're thinking on that level.
But it's worth noting too because they haven't had a bye week since December. So
you're saying more. Let me make sure I understand your question. Are you talking about more from a mental fatigue standpoint?
Yes.
The mental fatigue is a real thing. And so if you're saying it like this, then I will agree with you. If you're saying that, hey, we've been on this grind and we're looking at the future and there's really no stopping this grind right now. There's no break there. If you're saying that and them thinking about that, I would agree that probably factors in that playing at that level or just playing college sports in general is a job, man. I don't care if you're at Division III Mount St. Joe. I don't care if you're at Bellarmine to, University of Cincinnati. It is a grind. It is a job. You're putting a lot of sweat equity into what you do. And if you don't have your breaks and your time away to get that mental break, it can break you down. So if that's what you're alluding to, then I would agree with that. There's something to that.
Yeah.
JT, I'm sorry if I
Nah,
stole
for
it.
sure. Nah, I think like the piggyback on what Meach said, it has something to do with it because they haven't had time to lick their wounds per se. Pause. You know what I mean? Because it's been going bad. They haven't had a time where where they might get a day off here and there, but they haven't had a time where okay.
Because think of it in this aspect too. So they played West Virginia on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
They were mandated an off day yesterday following the NCAA game. So they essentially had 1 day to prepare for UCF.
Yeah. And those mandated days off probably aren't even really, days off because guys got to come in, they got to do
treatment,
and there's just there's really no true day. So
probably still shooting, you know what I mean, touching the basketball for sure, I'm guessing. So
I guarantee you Ray was in the gym shooting for sure.
100%.
Ray was in the gym on Saturday or Sunday night at like 11:45 p.m. he posted.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Not having a bye week has something to do with it. I would say that for sure. But I just think, honestly, more so than anything, man, just not seeing the success on the court. Getting the success is getting a dub, and they haven't. It's been a while with a 4-game losing streak, so it's been rough, man. It's just been rough.
Yeah. Well, I will say this to kind of end this segment. I had a Bearcat fan ask me this: who's to blame for this? And I said to them, I said, I don't think there's one person or a small group of people to blame. I just think it's a collective thing. You put a lot on the players. You can put a lot on the coaching staff. The coaches get paid a lot to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
They've got to figure this out. Right.
Yeah.
And the record they're at right now, they haven't figured it out. So they and the players have to. You're missing point blank layups, bro. That's not on coach.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's a two-way. It's a lot of parties involved in that. JT, you want to add something to that?
Nah, it's a collective, man. You can't blame just one person, one coach, whatever. It's as a whole. You know what I mean? Like you said, like missing. It's times you're like, okay, maybe they didn't do this, but then you see like, all right, they did it, and then then somebody else doesn't do X, Y, and Z. So it's like, as a whole, it's like I think it feels like it's like a cartoon right now. I feel like, you know what I mean, like where you are like the big brother's fighting little brother. They're not together. That's like, all right, the big brother's holding the little brother's head, pause, and he's trying to punch him. You know what I mean? Where they're trying to fight, and then after he lets him go, the little brother runs into him. And that's where they're not pulling on the same chain right now. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, man. You can't blame a single. I don't think it's not a single person. If you blame a single person, then you're just mad at the situation. You're not really looking at it as a total picture. You know what I mean? As a total prism, I guess, or
Well, it's easy to always want to blame the head coach. They're in charge, right?
Yeah,
they're the CEO of that company.
Yeah.
So I get that. The Bearcats football team started to go downhill. Fire Satterfield. The Bengals didn't make the playoffs. Fire Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
Bearcats aren't doing well. What's Wes Miller's buyout? Let's fire him. It's a common theme. That's what happens. But they've got to find a way quickly to get things turned around, at least to save. I mean, it's not. Listen, I don't know what could happen for us to even make the NCAA tournament, or obviously we have to win the conference tournament, right?
For sure.
Right, win the conference tournament. That's probably the only.
You're going to have to win 8 of the last 10, and then probably go 2 or 3 games in the conference tournament.
Gotcha. So the rate we're going, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. Yeah, but I think there's got to be some there's got to be some light in this. There's got to be a ray of light of hope. Start seeing some fight with this team, and some things got to change. They can't keep going as they are now.
All right, so I know this is kind of off topic. It's on topic, but off our normal flow.
Mhm.
But out of the last 10 Big 12 games, what would be? I know, like, seeing the fight and everything, that counts. But like,
Mhm.
out of the last 10, what would be a record that would make you feel like, okay, they got it turned around? It took them a while, but they fixed it. They fixed everything, and they're pulling on they're tugging the same way. Which way would you, like, what record of the last 10 would you say, hey, the staff figured out, the players have kind of gotten over the mental hump, and they're like, this looks like a team that we expected.
You're talking about the next 10?
The next 10, starting with UCF.
I would say 7-3.
Well, let me. And I don't mean to cut you off with what you said, Neil, but let me, Neil, if you could pull this up, what's the home versus away breakdown?
Okay.
And who are the away? Because I'm gonna tell you right now.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5-5.
It's 5-5, and the away games are Iowa State, Houston, UCF, Baylor. No, Baylor was earlier in the season.
No, we had them, yeah.
Yeah,
we had UCF, which was tomorrow, Iowa State, West Virginia, Houston, and Oklahoma State all on the road.
Okay.
And then at home, you have BYU.
Hold on, you don't even have to tell me who's at home, because I'm just going to say this: we've got to win at Fifth Third. Plain and simple. Like, not to be rude and cut you off, but I don't care who we play. We've got to win at home for me to be looking at, hey, we've got this turned around. On the road, we ain't winning at Iowa State. We ain't winning at Houston. The other ones, let's hope we can sneak something there. I think that would probably tie in close to what you were saying, Neil. But we've got to win at Fifth Third Arena. My Lord. I'm sorry.
Got to. What are you? 1, 2.
And Neil, you said 7-3. Okay.
But think about it. Looking back at the schedule, they have only won one game at Fifth Third Arena since December 22nd versus Grambling State.
That was the last win at Fifth Third?
No.
Outside of Arizona State.
Arizona State. They're 1-4 in conference at home.
Okay. I was gonna say.
1-4.
But here's the thing, like, there are just a couple things I think with Bearcat basketball that's just non-negotiable. It is we play defense.
Yeah.
You regardless of who's on the court, we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
We're absolutely fight, and we're gonna hold down Fifth Third Arena. And if we lose in Fifth Third Arena, like, it is a dark day. It's like you know what I'm saying? It's just like that's how it was back. Even the Mick Cronin era. To an extent, it was like we lost at home. It was like, the roof's falling. You know what I mean? Now it's like,
it's like, you know what I mean? Like that. People coming in, like, they like coming here. Like, it's not what's up. Like, we talking to people, they're like, oh, this is great here. I like that.
Javon Small, look what he said the other night. He goes, man, I just love playing here. I mean, respectfully, when you're averaging 22 points a game at Cincinnati, you can kind of talk that nonsense. But when opposing teams are saying they love coming here because they feel the rim is expanded, it's not something Cincinnati is expected.
I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like it, man.
It should be opposing teams. Players are like, we hate Fifth Third Arena.
It should be like what Dylan said about Fifth Third Arena earlier in the season when he came with Texas, and he was like,
I remember that.
When we asked him, we were like, hey, like, you got to play on both sides of this thing. What did you think of, like, the Texas environment versus being here for Cincinnati? He was like, man, we were terrified to play here once tip-off came off due to how the fans were involved, the atmosphere. Like, we were terrified to play there. I hate to say it right now. Teams are not terrified to play here at Fifth Third Arena right now.
Absolutely. man,
they're probably circling it and saying, "Oh yeah, this is a trip that we can go enjoy real quick."
Yeah,
I agree with that. This was a good therapy session. All right, this was a good therapy session. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. The Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanas in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness. By providing scholarships and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio, the Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. Now, this Wednesday at 7 p.m., the Bearcats travel to Orlando. Neil's already there to take on UCF. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Now, let's jump into the Big O segment sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. In this segment, we cover players to watch and key matchups. JT, we need somebody to step up big time on the road. Who's it going to be?
All right, man. All right. This is home state. All right, Dylan Mitchell, man. Tampa, Florida native. Tampa.
Tampa, okay.
Yep. I know Orlando. You know, I think it's on the south end, right? I don't think it's that far.
No, Tampa and Orlando are they're close.
They ain't that far, right? It's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, not far at all. I mean, compared to, it's a big state. Like
it's a big state, but they're not. Yeah. It's in the same pocket per se, right?
It's north central Florida. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I wasn't tripping. I hadn't looked at the map again, so my bad, y'all, for the hesitation. So it's a homecoming for him per se, man. I expect him. I want to see a double. He had 10 rebounds, but I want to see him get more points, man. Be aggressive. He's one of the best athletes on any floor that he graces. Want to see him be aggressive, man, and ball out. I think his energy is infectious. Just do your thing on the road, man. Maybe being at home, maybe it'll be something that kind of fix. Maybe it's an elixir for the team, and hopefully Dylan's the one that kind of gets everybody rolling, man. So that's how I'm going with it.
That you just made me think, JT. This could be a therapeutic trip for this Bearcat basketball team, right? Get away from Cincinnati, get away from the cold, get warm, get a little sunshine, good for the soul. Dylan's
vitamins.
family.
That's vitamins, you know what I'm saying? 80-degree weather, that's vitamins,
That's right. And Dylan's family will probably show up in masses. Get some time with your family, probably get some advice and that good cooking from your family. You know what I'm saying? This could be good for this Bearcat team. Now that I think about it, when you say it like that, with Dylan being from there, so
that's what I'm rolling with it, man. So I think Dylan, being from home, you're gonna see, get that home pat on the backside. You know what I mean? And it's gonna probably some family members that's gonna talk to him. You know what I mean? A little stern, like, hey, I need you to do this. You know what I mean? I know you can do this. So time to turn up on them. So I think it's something that hopefully that happens, on Wednesday, and everybody be happy, and maybe the Bearcats can ride that momentum.
I've had several Bearcat fans say to me, "What's the impact of NIL on these players?" From the standpoint of, do I feel, they're asking me, and I'm going to ask you guys this: do you feel that some of these guys, they're getting paid what, $850, $500K, $450, whatever the numbers are, but around that range, right? The better player. Am I pretty close?
Yeah, it sound pretty legit, pretty accurate.
So they're obviously, this is more money than most of them have ever seen in their life.
Yeah.
They're comfortable now, obviously, with that money. In the past, pre-NIL, you had to grind to even think about getting that type of money. Yeah. Now you've got it in your bank account. You've got a Mercedes-Benz parked right outside of Fifth Third Arena.
You ain't hiding. You ain't got to hide it.
Right? You ain't got to hide it. It's parked.
No matter what school you're at, they ain't hiding it. You can You can have a chain on. Nobody gonna ask how'd you get the chain, where'd it come from? Did your family come from money? You know what I mean?
Speaking of the NIL, when I walked on UCF's campus earlier, there was 3 Cybertrucks that I saw in their athletic village parked outside their athletic center. Think about that.
Yeah, a lot of NIL money, but does that impact their hunger? Right. So you go out. Let's say you're a Dylan Mitchell. Let's say you're a Jizzle James. Dylan Mitchell earlier this year had 0 points in the game. Jizzle James just had 0 points versus West Virginia. These are basically high-level dudes. And is the motivation gone a little bit with having all this money and just kind of everything at your fingertips right now? I was asked that question. I want to get your guys' opinion.
Honestly, it has to have some kind of effect on people. Just think about it, man. Like even back then, unless you got the backdoor money, you know what I mean, and it's still you couldn't show it, so you had to still be on your stuff, unless you was trying to do some. What was my man for Arizona State back in the day? Remember the guard that was that got bought off the gambling side and the gambling joint. Remember that, Meach?
Oh,
named Tony, I think.
He's actually in all the gambling
too.
videos. He's in the NCAA. He's in the NCAA gambling videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
It's a special, a 30 for 30 on it too. He was cold too. But let's use going that route. You know what I mean? But it's because a lot of people are fighting to get to the money per se, right? That's the reward of your talent, your skills, which I'm not mad at. You know what I mean? Getting paid, I'm not going to dog that. But if like, all right, you have a bad game, and like back in the day, you're like, damn, I had a bad game. It's going to affect me from getting to the money. You have a bad game now. You already have the money.
It's in the account.
It's
there. Account. So it's like if I have a bad day, like, and all right, it's essentially like, if I have a bad day, like I look at my bank account, shoot, it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they could have a bad day in that example, and then check their bank account and they see what's in there, and they're like, oh, that's retail therapy session or whatever it might be. Like, go spend some of that money that they already got put in the bank account. Like, it definitely affects it. I mean, most certainly.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's just the key would be as a whole, and people would adjust. The adjustment period, man, because people are getting, they got a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money to be in college. If I had $50,000 and I was in school, I would have probably been off the date, and I was kicking it. So just imagine if I had $100K. I can't judge these young men, because if I had $100K as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, I don't know. I might not be here. How about that?
Well, let me. You've got that money in the account. You've got a Mercedes-Benz, and you got the hottest girl on campus. You score 0 points. You look like I'm good.
I'm good. You good? Like you like, man, shit. Pray about it.
Honestly, that's in a lot of ways for young men. That's success to them, and that's what they're working to achieve.
Yeah,
and they got it.
Yeah, you got it. So it's a hell of a thing that, like, I mean, these kids are still working. Don't get me wrong, but it's a hell of a thing because you got that instant gratification, right? Because gratification is the money, right? It's not really about the win. It's about the wins and losses, but it's not once you get to that point. So I got paid, but then you got to think about, like, the next level. You still got to keep climbing, but if you got that money, it makes it a little tougher, man. I think at times, because you already got what you want. I mean, one of the goals, you got a good chunk, man, good chunk of money already. No doubt.
Arizona State, headache. Steve Smith.
Yep. Headache.
Yep. I knew it was gonna come to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Headache. He was cold too.
He was. Then he got connected up on that bookie.
That bookie was like, man, he was going crazy.
Yeah. Neil, your player to watch.
Yeah, for Cincinnati, my player to watch is like JT, going with the hometown kid in this situation, and Jizzle James. Jizzle's actually from right here in Orlando, so I think this could be a good opportunity for him. I'm sure maybe his family.
We need another picture of that guy that
the fake Edwin James.
Yeah, the fake Edwin. That dude didn't even.
Was
look
that his uncle or his cousin?
Yeah, that's somebody actually in his family. They just put the wrong picture up there.
That was funny.
I hope he's at the game.
I hope he is too. I hope they do the same thing again. Actually,
yeah. And they be messing up, man. All you gotta do is go down there, like they be tripping, man. People would just be putting wrong pictures up. It's wild. They be tripping.
Yeah, but for me, I'm going with Jizzle on this one. Obviously, coming off the 0-point goose egg versus West Virginia, being back home, I think this is a game where he really balls out. UCF has a great backcourt.
Yeah.
Pause. But UCF has a great backcourt between veterans Darius Johnson. Jalen Sellers probably won't be playing, last year's leading scorer for UCF. So overall, this is a team where I think Jizzle James could make an immediate impact. And it's going to be interesting to see how does he respond after an 0-for-8 performance versus West Virginia. And then you look at the other side of things. You see the phenom and Mikey Williams on the bench, coming off the bench for UCF. Dior Johnson, who was another 5-star point guard, coming off the bench for UCF. It's going to be interesting to see how a guy like Jizzle James, who was a top 50 recruit, handles going up against 2 consensus 5-stars on the big stage as well. So that's something I'm looking forward to for Cincinnati.
The Big O segment is sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. All right, I'm going to roll with the hometown hero, Rayvon. Everyone's showing Rayvon love right now. He's putting in a lot of time. He's working. We've talked about this on the podcast before, and I'm going to say it again. This young man has had a great attitude, whether he's played a lot, played a little bit. What did he get, 12 minutes? Is that what you said, Neil? 12 minutes, 7 points the other night versus West Virginia?
Minutes, yeah.
So no matter what, his attitude's been great. Rayvon is one of my favorite kids, and I hope he continues to do well. And in my eyes, I would love to see West find a way to get him some more minutes, right? I think guys like Josh Reed, Rayvon, and Day-Day. I know Day-Day started, but he was coming off the bench before. But there's a hunger there with some of those guys that, they want to get some more minutes. And if those are the guys that are going to give you that effort, that energy, shit, that's who you roll with. And then other guys got to figure out a way to step it up. Otherwise, have a seat next to me.
Yeah.
Like Hugs used to say, play hard or you don't play.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, at this point in the season, that's what's got to be, man.
Got to send some messages to some guys at this point. But it's a delicate dance because, one of my best friends in the college basketball coaching world is a guy named Darius Nichols. He's the head coach of Radford in Virginia.
Okay.
And he said something to me, and I was like, wow. He said at the end of every season, every kid on the roster, he's not talking about Radford. He's talking about college basketball. He goes, everybody's in the portal. It's a matter, huh?
That's crazy.
But what he's saying, if you really think about it, everybody
you have to work on recruiting your own team back and everything.
It's so true. It really is, because everyone's looking for, is there another opportunity that's better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the delicate dance that I talk about is, let's say that Dan Skillings isn't playing to the level he's capable of. You throw in Ray or Josh and they start getting it done. Well, Dan, you're going to be chilling next to me here this game.
Yeah.
And now Dan's like, there's about 800,000 that this other school wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real.
There's this delicate dance right now that I feel bad for college coaches that you kind of have to go through.
You almost, I don't know, like not like just saying UC, but just in general, you almost have to just say after a certain point, you can't look at who's getting paid what, this, that, and third. You gotta just play who's fitting what you need to do. Because like you're gonna have to re-recruit the kids anyways, no matter what, good or bad. You might as well try to, put your best foot forward. Because like just look at it, like just look at football for instance. Notre Dame made the national championship and 2 starting linemen were like, hey, I'm hitting the portal. You know what I'm saying? And they were started to the national championship. And they were like, hey, I'm out. I started. Like, you know what I mean? That like in the years past, if you made the national championship or you made it far, like the Final Four, essentially, that's just like how Larry Nagel when he was like, "Hey, I just made the Final Four, and 8 of my kids were in the portal or something like that," and he was just like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's a different day, man. So you might as well just after a while, like just play who's fitting what you need to do. You got to re-recruit them anyway. It's like it's not like how it was back in the day when you played Meach, where you knew, like, all right, this kid's gonna be here 3 years. Let's see, 3 to 4 years, unless he goes to the NBA or he does something off the chain where he has to transfer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes a kid do something you like, kind of swept on the rug, but they got him out of there. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or Hugs would tell, like, listen, you're never gonna play here.
Yeah, yep.
You got to go. And that happened to one of my teammates. He told me, he said, you got to pick another school. But here's the other thing too. Like, so you talk about, back in my day, think about all the guys that played when I played and even a little bit after, when they got recruited, the exciting thing for Bearcat fans were like, oh, we've got this guy for 4 years. Think about this. Kenyon Martin.
Yep.
Jason Maxiell. Eric Hicks, like Steve Logan. I can go on and on with legends that we watched develop, grow, mature in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
And we knew Logan was okay. We got Logan 2 more years. Oh man, we got Leonard Stokes for you just knew that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't know.
Like somebody said to me at Walgreens today, no way Jizzle's coming back. I'm like, damn, oh, swear to God,
Yeah.
But I'm not what he said. I'm not criticizing what he said. It hit me like, damn, that could be true.
Yeah. Yep. Because back then, you're like, nah, man, you tripping. You know what I mean? Now it's like, man, shoot, I can't say that he might not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So because it's a different animal. That's what made this team like. You had all those kids, young men say, hey, I'm coming back.
Yes.
And it's just like, man, it's not, it didn't go how everybody expected. But everybody would be lying if they said they weren't excited that those young men were coming back. You know what I mean? Just isn't going how everybody, that's what's making what they're doing now. It's like, man, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Because they were so close last year and it's just like not close at all right now. It's, it's a 180, not a 360. It's a 180.
We talk about it all the time. Correct.
The 180. It's 180. Doing a 180. Right. We're doing a 180 right now. 360 in the same spot.
Yes. So many people mess that up.
They'll be like, doing the whole 360. That means we the same. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh man, he ain't on drugs no more. He did a whole 360. So you telling me you back on drugs?
You back on the drugs.
Put the fit down.
Let's hope that so you guys made a couple good points. Jizzle from Orlando, Dylan from Tampa, close to Orlando, home cooking. Hopefully some real conversations from their family members.
Yeah.
Guys get some sunshine. Get this shit turned around.
Yeah, man.
Put together. I think it was JT. You said it earlier. Put together a complete game.
Yeah, complete game, man. Give me all 40, man. Yep, that's what's gonna be for the keys. Yeah.
My bad. Yep.
Yeah, all good.
Yep. They won't even know.
They won't even know. They won't know.
The Big O segment sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. Do you have a business that needs better inventory control, production management, or improved accounting control? Outgrown QuickBooks or can't afford NetSuite? Give Loyal Bearcat grads Doug and Kathy Jacobs at Smart Dog Solutions a call. They have been in your position and would love to help solve your problems. They can be contacted at 513-739-9473 or online at smartdog-solutions.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. And it is time for everyone's favorite game. We all know what it is. Hey, hit him, Neil. Get him. Hey.
I can't dance like usual. I got a little bit more room to dance tonight if I wanted to.
Wait. What?
I said I got a little bit more room to dance compared to my normal setup tonight if I wanted to.
But you gave us less of a dance.
I know.
I mean, Neil, I'm confused. Do you not feel comfortable in the surroundings?
No. I'm trying to comprehend how to pronounce our guy's name from last year who's making his second appearance.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get you focused now. Now, for the name game with Neil Meyer, here's what happens. We look at the opposing team the Bearcats are getting ready to play, and we look at the names of players on their roster. Either they have unique names, they have some just crazy names, or in some cases, I think some of them are just flat out cool. We are on the roster for UCF. Are you ready, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with number 8.
Number 8 for UCF is Elijah Halseway.
Are you okay? JT, are you looking at the picture?
I'm about to. I was slacking. My bad. I gotta.
Is it?
No.
It could be Halseway or Halseway.
Hold up.
I need you to look at the picture. JT. Say the name again, and then let JT see the picture. Say the name again.
Elijah Halseway.
What number is my man?
8.
8. Kobe. All right. Oh.
He said Kobe. Oh shit.
JT.
Hey.
Just your soul.
Man, he definitely got the Jerry curl.
He has a
He said
Jerry.
Hey, he definitely wet. You know the couch. If they got any leather couch or cloth couch, he's not safe. It's not safe.
Hey, do you think he's got a NIL deal with Head and Shoulders like Troy Polamalu did?
No, I don't know. Yes, that's a straight.
No, he got one with
Soul Glow.
Soul Glow.
Or just for me, something. That's bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Neil, this poses the question. We run into this every podcast where JT and I kind of date ourselves with these different jokes, comments. Neil, are you familiar with the greatest comedy movie of all time, Coming to America?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Oh my God. Let me get out my Corey Blunt wine real quick. I don't even drink, and you're making me want to drink. Coming to America is a classic. It is a You know how when you buy a frame at Walgreens, it's got like a picture already in it. It's got like that standard picture. You know what I'm talking about? Or wherever you buy Walgreens or wherever you buy a frame from. Coming to America should come with like free with your cell phone, laptop. It should automatically be on there. It is one of the greatest movies. And Neil, you have never seen. Do you know what Coming to America is?
No, I just Googled it.
Oh my God, JT.
This is wild, man.
This might be Neil's last day on the podcast. Bro.
It's over, huh?
Really upset.
Right? We try to save you, man. Sometimes.
Neil, what's your buyout on the podcast? What's your buyout? You are out here. You're fired. You are gone. Bro.
Said you got 70%. So you gonna lose some.
You, Neil Meyer, Satterfield, and Wes Miller buying everybody out. You're gone. Neil, you've never seen or heard of Coming to America?
Man, it's one of the best, my favorite movie of all time, man.
Thank you, JT. And we've never even talked about
favorite movie, like pure movie of all time. Very well written. Everything is funny. If I watch that movie right now, I'll laugh and wake everybody up in the house.
It's timeless.
Like it's still like to this day, it's super funny, man. I got some fly ass hygiene, man.
love
Thief.
I
Let him have our princely things.
Neil, I'm so disappointed in you right now.
He said,
But
man.
the stuff before Neil, I could kind of get like Cujo.
Yeah.
I'm like
Cujo. Everybody ain't watching Cujo. Like I ain't watched Cujo in a long time, so it'd be stuff I'll forget in Cujo. But like Coming to America, man, I can watch that like every day. I feel like I made my kids watch Coming to America. That was
you have to. That is Eddie Murphy's like Eddie Murphy has really there were a lot of good films.
But that one's like
that's it.
That's it. Like
that's his holy grail.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. That is if God came back down and was like, show me a movie, show me your best movie.
Yeah.
If you save the world, Coming to America, save the world.
Coming to America. Neil, your buyout's in the mail, bro. You're gone.
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
I am serious. I am going to hold you accountable.
Nah, you got to watch this one. Like this one, like all right, Cujo. I don't care about Cujo. Other stuff we talked about, like this one, you have to watch that. Like matter of fact, unless you gonna kick it tonight, man, you gotta find that, man. You got to find that. Cause it's like hilarious. Like you might get kicked out of a hotel, you're gonna be laughing so hard. Like nobody's ever watched that. Man, I had a customer quote me on Coming to America when I was doing a mortgage for him, and like I was like, "Oh, he was like, caught you by surprise, didn't I?" But it was like, the part where he'd be like, "Stu, don't be pulling that phone down the stairs bullshit again." That's Stu, motherfucker.
It's so listen. There are so many.
Stu, motherfucker.
There's so many great quotables from that movie. Neil,
Dude.
Unless you're going to a gentleman's club tonight, Tootsie's or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the names of all
I'm
of them.
telling you, man, you gotta watch it, man. That one you got to, man. It's a must. Like it's telling you will thank us for watching that. You will thank us.
Thank us.
I'm serious, man. I'm telling you.
Neil Meyer.
One of the best comedies ever. It's the best to me, but Harlem Nights is up there too.
It is. I put it over Harlem Nights.
I put it over there, but Harlem Nights is up there.
Yeah. Harlem Nights was good. It's good.
It's a top tier one.
Coming to America is just.
Yes.
I thought I didn't watch the 2, Coming to America 2.
I watched 2, but I
couldn't do it, man. I haven't been able
almost
to.
Didn't, but I had to. Like I just had to. But it was okay.
See,
it was okay. I only watched it one time. I need to watch it again and not be like as judgmental. Cause I was too judgy.
Yeah, that's
I didn't come in here as an open book. You know what I'm saying? I was real like.
Yeah. See, if I was the folks that wrote it or directed or whatever, I would just never do another one. I would just always kind of throw it out like, oh, we might be doing another one. That makes the original one even more popular and becomes more of a cult, following. But we better get off this because Neil's gonna fall asleep on us because he's
man, some bullshit.
Hey, I bet you every time we finish the podcast, Neil's like, man, every week they come up with this bullshit from the 80s and 90s and all that bullshit.
I don't want to see that shit. He probably be calling us He calls when we get off this.
He gets off and like
shit.
That motherfucker Cujo, fucking Cujo. I got your Cujo, motherfucker. Fucker coming to America. Pause.
These keep telling me do this bullshit. I ain't doing none of that shit.
Watch this. Bullshit.
Ask me the question. Keep going.
Man, fuck that. I'm done with the 80s. We done with the 90s. Oh man, let's get back to this because people are gonna start clicking off the podcast. Like, man, listen to more of this shit.
My bad. All right, we gotta get straight and focused for this next few minutes. All
right. Let's get like the Bearcat should be. Let's get focused. Number 20.
Number 20 is our guy.
Here we go.
He made the name game iconic list of names last year. and he is back.
Yes.
Pufa Warakonukro.
Woo. Oh,
Hey.
this was my guy. Yeah, I remember cuz. Yeah.
You can't forget a name like Pufa, JT.
Yeah, my man, he is back. He's in the flesh. He did not transfer. That's what's up.
Poo. Poo. Say it again.
Warakonukro.
Whoa, you be careful there. You almost slipped.
Man, my guy.
He looks like a nice kid too. Like he's just like, man, that last name's tough. Where's he from, Neil?
Bangkok, Thailand.
He said it.
The way you said it was you. All right, we better keep this moving. Number 22.
Number 21 is Nils Machowski.
I like that first name, Nils. I've never seen that before. I'm gonna start calling you that, Neil. Nils Meyer.
Nils Meyer.
My guy, Nils Meyer.
Nils.
I ain't got no damn S on my name.
Man, I'm tired of them 80s and 90s booze. All right. Number 35.
Number 35 is Rokas Jokus.
Where's he from?
Kaunas, Lithuania.
Ain't that where
is that where
Seamoss from?
That's where Seamoss is from?
Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, that's crazy.
They're probably buddies.
Might be his homie. He a junior as well. Seamoss a senior, but still, he gotta know him. He got to, right? Or I heard of him, I would think. You know what I mean?
They probably crossed paths before.
What high school is he from, Neil?
He is from Vilnius Gymnasia.
No, you can't skip the middle.
The quotation mark is Ozo.
I've never seen a school have a middle name.
Yeah, that's wild.
The school has a middle name.
Quotation marks.
Say it again, Neil, because you messed it up before. Say it again.
He attended Vilnius Ozro Gymnasia.
So you done added letters to that? That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Number 52, and his shape up is tough.
Yeah, it is. You got the chalk on that bad boy. He wiped it off. He said, fuck it. I'm here. He wiped it off. He came straight to the thing. He said, man, you're going to see this.
They cut his hair during the picture.
They might have. The barber might be on the side. He might be edited out of the picture.
Hey, back to NIL. It's crazy. You never know. They could have had a barber in the locker room.
Looks like it.
They might have, man.
That is Mustafa Diem.
Mustafa
Diem.
Which is also from the same area as Aziz Bandego.
Damn.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Same.
I might have to text
Spider-Man meme.
They point each other.
When have we ever done a name game and seen two players on an opposing roster from the same country and same hometown that Seamoss and Aziz are, which are the only two foreign players on Cincinnati's roster?
Three now.
Yes, correct.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. Hey. Never seen that. The exact match. You know what I mean? Like it might be from the same country, maybe, but that's crazy.
But you know what? This goes back to, how the name game kind of started, and that's the conversation we've had about this influx of foreign players to our game now. And, you think there are a lot of foreign players in our game now. Woo-wee. There are a lot more. There are a lot more coming over to the States to play and are good.
Yep.
It's curious, too. Mustafa actually knows Aziz because Mustafa's a freshman. Aziz is a 6th year. So say when this kid was 18 right now, Aziz is 24 roughly. So think about it. like, did the time they might not know each other, but same hometown's crazy.
I would assume they do because of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, he probably like knows. He probably knows them because he probably saw Aziz get to a certain level and he's striving, and and so
for sure. Well,
you know what I mean.
It's like this. Think about this. If a hooper comes out of Cincinnati and makes it big, Jackson Hayes, Deuce McBride, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna know other hoopers from our area. They may not be best friends, but they'll know.
Yeah, they know him. That's my little homie. Or that's what I mean. Play, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely for sure.
The name game with Neil Meyer is sponsored by Oakley Greens. Hey, listen, you know what we need to do? We need, and Neil, you're going to be in charge of this. Since if you don't watch Coming to America, you need to make sure you get this, completed. I need you to go back to what this is podcast 16, right? So the last 15, well, I don't know if 15 of them have all been the name game, but 14 maybe name games or whatever it is. You need to start putting together like your all-American. Well, it can't be all-American because they're foreign. Put together your top list of players for the name game.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
We got to compile this at the end of the season. And I know my guy Poof. Wait, was it Poof? Poofa.
Yeah, Poofa.
Poofa's up there. Walro, yeah, he's that's tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
I wonder what his nickname is. Hey, you can click on the thing and hear his name, the
pronunciation. Yeah.
I think we did that last year. Do you want me to do it again?
I'm about to do it right now.
Poopa Warakuna Crow. Poopa Warakuna Crow.
You guys hear that?
Yeah. Yep.
It sounded like he said Poopa. Hold on.
Poopa Warakuna Crow.
He said Poopa.
He said Poopa.
He's a Poopa.
Like I'm a Poopa. Like I'm a Poopa.
Poopa the Hooper.
Poopa the Hooper.
That's a crazy nickname.
Hooper.
That's
like
crazy.
Restroom.
That is crazy. Hey, you know what? The name game never disappoints.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? There's always one or two.
It's always, as I say, it's always one. Always one.
That kid, that young man's Jerry curl though is.
Yeah, he was next level. He definitely was like, hold this.
That is, I've not seen a Jerry curl like that in a long.
I wonder if it's like the like my man on where the whole family had to go. I wonder the whole family got the Jerry curl off. It's just him.
Where they were on the couch?
Yeah, and on the couch where it's like just 4 in a row.
And they get the spots?
Yeah, the spots on the couch. That's crazy. You go to somebody's house and do their couch like that. It's crazy.
Neil's like, what? Neil's like, what is going on? Neil, I'm serious when I tell you. You need to watch Coming to America, okay? I'm going to fight you. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to fight you.
You got to, man.
I'll make sure to watch it.
Nah, for sure. This one you got to. This is non-negotiable, man. You got to watch this one, man.
What did you write down before? You said you were going to do. I know you didn't do it, but what did you write down before? Remember last podcast? Huh?
To watch the last episode. To watch Cujo and then whatever we talked about on the last one.
Gilligan's Island?
You don't remember, so you didn't follow.
You write it down, man.
I wrote it down, but it's on a Post-it note at home on my desk.
You threw it away. One of your 90 cats probably.
He was like,
on it.
He was like Kobe.
He definitely
said Kobe.
This is crazy, man. I'm done with you, Neil. Oh, the name game with Neil Meyer is sponsored by Oakley Greens. Oakley Greens, the ultimate spot to catch your hometown team in every big game. With 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle, it's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens, located at Oakley Station next to the cinemas. Check out their website, oakleyGreens.com. And just a reminder, we'll be doing a live podcast from Oakley Greens on February 15th. That's coming very quickly. Pause. At 3 p.m., 1 hour before the Iowa State game. And Hopefully, we are playing better at that point. The Kenyon segment sponsored by Greg Hood and Beachmont Toyota. This is where we cover the keys to the game. Man, it feels like we've done this, but we haven't.
Yeah, no, right?
Right? Feels like we've covered so much shit
for
for
sure.
podcast. JT, what do the Bearcats need to do to win?
Hey, man, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. They got to play a complete 40 minutes, man. Show that energy, effort. Complete 40, man. I don't just play Bearcat basketball. I'll let y'all add in the other stuff, but complete 40, man. That's where that's where we at right now. Go, you know what I'm saying? Represent 40 for the 40 ball, man. Come on.
Represent. The Kenyon segment is sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. Neil, what do the Bearcats need to do to win?
Yeah, for me, obviously it's going to be win the rebounding margin again, but also you got to find a way to defend the three-point line. Cincinnati was one of the best three-point defending teams for majority, the first 14 games or so? But in recent weeks, they have not been able to defend the three ball. But in order for them to win tomorrow night versus UCF, they're going to have to defend the three ball. UCF has shot arguably the most threes in Big 12 conference right now at nearly 550-something three-point attempts on the season. So they love to shoot the three ball. Keyshawn Hall has been dominant since Jalen Sellers went down with the injury. He's going to be a guy who's going to try and light it up from volume for many, many different aspects. And he's shown to light it up from three, especially when he went for 40 against Kansas, or he went for 34 versus Kansas earlier this year. And then he had a 40-point performance versus a Arizona State team a couple of weeks ago. But anytime a guy's shooting that hot, you're going to have to find a way to defend it. But he's shooting 44% from the field, 40% from behind the arc. Find a way to defend the three ball, or else UCF will make you pay.
All right, fellas, I'm just going to add this. I think I said this before. The key to win this game is developing some sort of bond off the court. Like, figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Figure this shit out as a team. What scouting reports and all that shit, I don't know. I don't have any more answers than just figure the shit out as a team, as a family, as a staff, and go and win a basketball game on the road. Get some momentum. Fellas, that's all I got for that, man.
All right.
That's all we need, right?
For real. It's real.
Yeah.
Just win. The Kenyon segment Keys to the Game was sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. Come see fellow Bearcat Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota for all your new and pre-owned Toyota needs. Look for Greg Hooden on Instagram and Twitter at Cincy Greg Hooden. Hooden is spelled Hoodin, or come see Greg at Beachmont Toyota. Always ready to help our Bearcat family get into a new Toyota. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. This is where we cover hot topics. Now, fellas, in my opinion, I think one of the hot topics right now, and if you look at, I think a lot of people look at professional football, the Super Bowl, as like this holier-than-thou event. Like, Super Bowl is a big deal. It's hard for anything to take away from the Super Bowl. But yet, there was a trade in the NBA that shook the sports world for many different reasons. And I feel like the Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl stuff was all kind of forgotten about. Nobody talked about it because they were talking about the big trade, Luka and AD, Mavs and Lakers. Fellas, is this the biggest trade in NBA history? And what are your thoughts? Will the Luka trade work for the Lakers or the Mavs getting AD work? Who's going to look good? Who's going to look bad? JT, we'll start with you.
All right. Definitely the biggest trade in the last few years. I can't think of nothing right now. So it's definitely a top tier, probably a top 10 trade in history. And I think the Mavs, win this year off the trade. But I feel like the Lakers win long term for this deal because I'm pretty sure they'll re-sign or extend Luka, give him a long term deal, and then you got your young star to build around. When LeBron hangs him up. So, yeah, man, it's been a hell of a, like you said, it's overshadowed NFL, and it's hard to do, very hard to do. So, that kudos to that trade happening. But yeah, I think this year the Mavs got a better shot. They got a better team, better parts of the team, and I think long term, the Lakers would be in a better spot. But now, I'll say Mavs.
Now, JT, let me ask you from a Laker. You're a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
From a Lakers standpoint, obviously LeBron's. I don't know. I think at max, LeBron could play 3 more years.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
That's fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
So looking at it from that standpoint, you have to have a star in LA.
Yeah.
You have to. A polarizing star at that, right?
Yeah.
Is Luka that guy for you long term?
Yeah, for sure. Because the thing is, AD is a star, but Luka's different and he's younger. So, like, if LeBron holds on, I think 80's with 31, 32. If he holds on a couple more years, you got AD in the mid 30s. If LeBron holds on for a couple more years, you got Luka in his late 20s. So you got a better chance of still having a star power, still having a person that can get you 30, 10, and 38 and 8 type of a thing on a consistent basis. And, hopefully you can have other pieces that come around that develop. So, I mean, it puts you in a good spot where you still have a marquee guy in the biggest market, essentially. Or I don't know if it's New York, the biggest market, and LA second, or it's LA and New York. But whatever, it's top 2 media market.
That's good. Probably New York 1, LA 2.
LA 2. So you got a top 2 media market, and you got an international star and a top 2 media market. So that adds even more eyes. So it's a win. It's a win. It's definitely a good marketing move, and he's the guy. He just got to make sure, stays in shape and all that stuff because he's going to get critiqued more in LA than he's ever got critiqued before. So it's a little different in that fishbowl than it is in Dallas. You kind of get away because Dallas Cowboys are the big media darling there, no matter how good or how bad they are. So
Jerry's
world.
Jerry's world is right.
Yeah.
Neil, you're an NBA guy, right? You like the NBA?
Yeah, I follow the NBA.
Yeah, you like college more than the NBA.
Yeah, I like college more.
Yeah.
But for me, this trade was an example talking about the deal for one. The fact that they were able to talk about this deal and get it done with nobody knowing anything about it is the biggest thing, especially in today's society in the sports industry. Danny Ainge had no idea that he was helping the Lakers secure Luka Doncic. He was just sitting there thinking, oh, I can grab a couple second rounders. Shit, let's do it. He had no idea what he was getting into. And then on top of it, Jason Kidd had no idea. His own head coach had no idea that this trade was even going down. Dallas's head coach had no idea it's going down. Rob Pelinka's working behind the scenes. JJ Redick obviously probably knew about it. But outside of that, like, even Nico Harrison's came out in an interview recently and said, yeah, it was between me and Rob. There's conversations. We said, if this is what's going to be done, we got to keep it here. And nobody knew about it. Then when it happened, everyone's like looking at your phone or your Apple Watch, whatever it might be. And you're like, did this trade actually happen? Yeah. Matter of fact, it was true. But in the end, I like the deal for the Lakers. I think it works out for them. But obviously, too, for Dallas, I think it works out them for right now. I think long-term it works out for the Lakers. But right now, I think it works short-term, I think it works better for the Mavericks because now you have Kyrie and AD who are in win-now mode while the Lakers are probably not playing for this year. They're probably playing for years down the line. So I think it could be a win-win for both teams, but to see that they only got one first-round draft pick back is what kind of was like, oh, you definitely could have got more. And the reason I say that is there was a trade a few years ago that sparked the NBA world took that by surprise, and that was Paul George when he got traded to the Clippers for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 5 first-round picks and then 2 additional pick swaps. Think about that.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like Dallas could have got a lot more for Luka, knowing that trade happened in the past. But in the end, maybe it's a win-win for both teams. I don't know. But right now, you look down on it on paper, Lakers are definitely the winner, in my opinion, in this trade.
The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. There are a couple things I look at with this Luka and AD situation. So Nico Harrison, let's start with him. I actually met him. I forget what year it was, on Nike's campus. I was having lunch at Nike with a guy named John Stovall. John's got some great ties to Ohio grassroots basketball. Was having lunch at Nike headquarters, and Nico Harrison walked by, and he actually introduced him to me. I don't know, JT and Neil, if you know this, but Nico worked for Nike specifically with Kobe Bryant for years.
Yeah,
you know that?
Yeah.
And so when I saw him on Nike's campus, he was actually head of Nike's, I forget what department it was called at the time, but he also worked directly with Kobe Bryant's brand. So he obviously worked with Rob Pelinka. He worked with Jeannie Buss. He's worked with the Laker family. He's close to them. He has been for years. So, Neil, when you talk about that situation being so tight-lipped, quiet, in today's world, everything seems to get out quickly. I think because of their relationship, going back to Kobe, they were able to sit and talk. And also, you guys probably heard this, but I've heard that there were issues with Luka that kind of went south. And Neil, you make the point they could have probably got more for Luka. I almost feel like they just wanted to kind of
cut ties.
Like, hey, and
in the end, too, on the thing that everyone's going to question. The big question was with Luka in Dallas. There were reports of how he was unlikely to sign the Supermax deal. And Luka even came out today in his introductory press conference. When asked about that, he said, no, I never thought of not signing that Supermax. I mean, $350 million. Shit, you put $350 million on a contract in front of me, I'm signing that baby right away. But especially because you think, too, when Luka got drafted, he was, 18? Been in Dallas 7 years. Like, maybe he did want it there, but then you hear the reports of all the weight comments and then all the behind-the-scenes stuff where you're cutting trainers, you're cutting assistant coaches, all that kind of stuff. That could be the case where they just said, hey, he's a head case off of it. Let's move on and go from there.
Yeah, It's one of those things where, like you said, I think Dallas was like, hey, let's cut ties. We need a defender. Let's bring in AD. The Lakers need somebody like Luka that could be a star. Now, the thing that I like about the trade as a basketball purist, I don't have JT is a Lakers guy. I used to be a Chicago Bulls guy, obviously Michael Jordan, but that ship has sailed. I'm not a Bulls fan really anymore. You know what I mean? I support the Pacers. I'll go see the Pacers because of the proximity. They have a good product. But to get Luka, definitely an MVP type guy, high caliber player with somebody like a LeBron to teach him some more professional things related to the game. Think about who in basketball history at that level has taken care of their body better than LeBron James. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Sure.
Right. So, and then the guy who gets traded is a guy who's had body issues, right?
Yeah.
Not being in shape. I think Luka he's been injured more this year than AD was, right? He's probably missed more games. So I think LeBron's really going to help him out. So JT, as you think about the future, of the Lakers organization. If LeBron's out in 3, hopefully he's taught him some professionalism. Hey, here's how to transform your body, and here's how to keep that going for a longevity standpoint. That could really, really help out Luka. And maybe we haven't seen the best of Luka yet. Maybe we'll see that.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. You might be right. You can't learn from LeBron, then. I mean, but it ain't like he's in a bad spot. If he just takes, goes to another level, I mean, it might get real scary.
Yep.
And like you said too, being in a big media market like LA
it's gonna be different. It's different.
It's gonna be different. You can get away with some stuff, in Dallas.
Yeah.
That you can't get away with in LA. The microscope's gonna be on you.
Yeah. Yep.
It's showtime in LA. So
100%.
Yeah, but I was trying to think back in like history, like star for star trade. I don't know a bigger star for star trade in the history. Like I'm trying to think, and gosh, I'm so bad with remembering some of this shit. I don't know who the Suns traded to get Barkley.
I can't remember who they traded to get Barkley.
I don't either.
Saved my life.
So the Lakers traded for Kareem, right?
I can't remember who they traded for him.
Kareem and Big O played together, right, with the Bucks.
Yep, Kareem was traded with Walt Wesley for Junior Bridgman, Dave Myers, Elmore Smith, and Brian Winters.
No.
Yeah, you said a bunch of names I don't know. Although I know Junior Bridgman, he's a billionaire now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So I can't think of another trade that star for star that's that big.
Yeah.
That literally
I can't either.
Nowhere.
Because Iverson got traded, but I can't remember who they traded. To the Sixers. I can't remember who they traded for. And I can't think it was star for star is good either.
And so much, everything else is kind of out of free agency, right? Like,
yeah, free. It's a star trade that
makes sense in realistic years. Has been the Paul George, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but that was before Shai popped off to what he is now, because out in LA he didn't really have the opportunity to.
Yeah, Shai wasn't. Now, look, hindsight 2020 it was a good thing, but
he didn't have the opportunity.
He wasn't where he is now. I think like his second year or something.
Yeah. Listen, we'll see how this trade works out. I'm not sure how soon Luka's going to play. I think he's got.
It sounds like they're ramping him up for 5-on-5 tomorrow after the introductory press conference. And then they're going to get him back maybe Tuesday.
It's going to be must-watch TV to see how him and LeBron work together. Throw Bronny out there too, baby. Bronny out there dropping dimes, right?
He better maybe be out there.
Maybe not. The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. Visionary Cleaners is a locally owned company by former Bearcat student athletes. They specialize in high-quality commercial cleaning of businesses, apartments, and pre- and post-construction cleans. They can be reached at 513-388-7816 or contacted online at visionarycleaners.com. Fellas, this concludes another great podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors: Donahue Accounting Services, Smart Dog Solutions, Greg Hood and Beachmont Toyota, Visionary Cleaners, Purple Monkey Project, and Oakley Greens. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services, a leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at DonahueAccountingService.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Go Bearcats.